Dragon Ball DAIMA episode 13 has hit the screen. The first Dragon Ball DAIMA episode of 2025. Let's get started with the Easter eggs and lore. Goma and Deges plan to disable the Warp Sama to keep Goku and the others from coming to the first demon world, and this is the first instance of someone mentioning the warps can be disabled, which ends up happening. When the heroes crash land, they land similarly to Goku, Pan, and Trunks from GT episode 3. And the area they land in is similar to Planet Monmouth from GT episode 6. Everything is so giant looking. Goku even eats an apple, which may be an homage to Goku having to fire a Kamehameha, which was lodged in an apple the giant ate, which then got stuck in his tooth that Goku had to use a Kamehameha to blast out of his mouth. Pause. And instead of bees, DAIMA instead uses hamsters, and instead of a giant gazelle looking thing as the animal, pet-ish, they use a giant dog thing, which has ticks, and it's a really cool scene. Bulma refers to the capsules as hoi poi capsules, which is something she hasn't done since the beginning of Dragon Ball. And the hoi poi in Japanese is an onomatopoeia of the sound of throwing something combined with the sound of something being thrown. You can see a lot of this and more in the Dragon Ball Dissection video series from Miss Dare Fusion. Later on throughout the series, Bulma just dropped the hoi poi thing and they just started calling them capsules. So it's a nice little touch to see the hoi poi come back into the series. Kaioshin says mortals aren't capable of passing through the warps alone. Neba reveals that they landed on a planet called Mega, which is inhabited by Megath giants, making this the second most terrifying planet in the demon realm according to Shin. So much so that the gendarmerie don't even come near it. The glowing light from the ship is called Magi Light, which powers everything and is vital for keeping the ship in the air. This obviously doesn't exist on Earth. They also react with acidic water to produce energy that can last for 30 years. These rocks are also very valuable. Acidic water seeps from the third demon world, causing a continuous shine, and the top of the second demon realm / the bottom of the third demon realm is also made up of Magi Light. Depending on water composition, the sky also changes colors. Also, there is a lot of Magi Light in the demon realm, but the Supreme Demon King controls it, so taking any is punishable by death. Not only does the Megath child remind me of the giant from GT, but he also looks similar to the barbarians from Dragon Ball Super, which is what the rest of his race also looks like. He also looks very similar to Botamo from Super, so that's one thing. Also, it's funny that it's a child because in Dragon Ball Z filler from the Buu arc, Goku and Vegeta ran into worms in Buu's body, which also happened to be children until their dad showed up, which I covered in a previous video. Check that out, it's in the card above, in the right. The giant boy was eating fried kraken tentacle, which makes them look like ordinary fishes on that planet, kind of like calamar or something. Goku hits the Kamehameha in this episode to keep the ship from getting destroyed, kind of like he did in GT to dislodge the Dragon Ball from the giant's mouth. Goku also has a scene with the giant in DAIMA just as he did in GT. He also transforms as well. The giant tries to squash Goku like Nappa tried to squash Gohan, but just like Nappa did, he failed as well. Even though the Megaths are ridiculously powerful, they're very laid back, which keeps them from wanting to conquer the demon realm, which makes them very similar to the Namekian counterparts of the same second demon world. There's an even scarier planet called Giga, and the Gigaths inhabit that planet, which spells out the pun for you. Mega, Giga, things of that nature, which is why words like gigantic exist, ginormous, is that even a word? But you know what I'm talking about. They're just words for enormous. And even GT used this, which is basically what this episode was kind of an offshoot of, with the planet Monmouth, which is a pun on mammoth. Just things that are large in nature. Those are the Easter eggs for Dragon Ball DAIMA episode 13. I got a lot to say about this, so check out the review on the channel later on.